Monument Park, the retired numbers as you're watching baseball tonight's Sunday Night Countdown presented by Chevrolet. Time now for the ceremony. We welcome in Yankees public address announcer Paul Olden.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you've enjoyed Mother's Day. As we say, welcome to Derek Jeter Night at Yankee Stadium. At this time, we ask you to please direct your attention to the podium on the field and welcome Yankees broadcasters, John Sterling and Michael Kay.
Well, thank you, Paul. What a thrill it is to be here tonight as the Yankees honor not only one of the greatest players in Yankee history, but one of the greatest players in the history of the game. If you walk around the stadium or see all the fans in attendance wearing his number 2, you can see how much Derek has meant to the Yankees and their fans. In all my years covering this team, I've never seen a player more beloved than Derek. Probably because as great as a player as he was on the field, he's an even better person off of it. Now, we all know the Yankees are the greatest sports franchise in the world and have won more championships than any other team in professional sports. But did you know that in the rich and illustrious history of the Yankees, no player has played in more games, had more at-bats, gotten more hits or doubles, or stolen more bases than Derek Jeter? In addition, he currently holds the Major League postseason record for most games, most hits, most runs, most doubles. But more importantly, he played with a passion and a heart on every play, being a role model to young baseball fans on how you should play the game every single day.
Well, Derek was called up during the 1995 season, and he appeared in 15 games before bursting on the scene for the 1996 season. In his first ever opening day, he had his first career home run and displayed what would be one of his signature defensive plays with an over-the-shoulder running catch. He would go on to win the American League Rookie of the Year and help the Yankees capture their then 23rd World Championship. A 14-time All-Star, 5-time Gold Glove winner, 5-time Silver Slugger Award winner, the first player to win the All-Star Game MVP and the World Series MVP in the very same season. Derek is a 5-time world champion and was the face of the Yankees franchise for almost 20 years. Derek was the personification of the word clutch, always seeming to come up big in the biggest spots. Just think of all the amazing plays he's been involved in. The flip, the Mr. November home run, the running catch into the stands against Boston, the relay throw home to save a run in Game 1 of the Subway Series, and the first pitch home run leading off Game 4. I could go on, but we would be here all night. And I dare someone to find any player in any sport who was part of more memorable moments than number 2.
Now, at this time, we ask that you direct your attention to Monument Park in center field. Please welcome Derek's grandmother, Dorothy Connors, his parents, Charles and Dot Jeter, Derek's sister, Charlie Jeter, his nephew, Jalen Jeter Martin, and his wife, Hannah Jeter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the man that today is all about, number 2 El Capitan, Derek Jeter. Now, at this time, Derek will unveil the newest number to be retired by the Yankees, his number 2.
So quite a moment for Jeter as he's able to pull back the curtain and expose that number 2. As he takes some pictures with some of his family members, a chance now to listen in on the conversation I had with Derek about a week ago.
Given that we're having the number retired, can you go back to when you were growing up, your first sort of memories of being a baseball player, Little League, whatever it was, throwing in the backyard with your dad?
I was, as far back as I can remember, I was a Yankee fan. My mom's got 13 brothers and sisters. Every summer I'd spend at my grandparents' house in New Jersey. My grandmother was a huge Yankee fan, so I would sit up at night with her and watch the games. And that's where the love affair came about with the Yankees. And I guess the first thing I can remember is playing on a Little League team, and we were the Tigers.
The Tigers.
And I couldn't have been more disappointed. And I can't tell you anything else about that season, but I was playing for the Tigers.
Was there a Yankees team in that league?
No, there wasn't, which I guess eased the mind a little bit.
What do you remember about watching the Yankees then? And who were the big guys? Who were the players? What did you like about it?
Obviously, the pinstripes stood out first and foremost. I think when you're young, it's a visual love affair. And it was Winfield. Big Dave was my guy. I thought he was larger than life, but those were the years. Donnie, Willie Randolph. Used to watch all the highlights. So I tried to learn as much as I could about the past Yankee teams, and I just couldn't think of a better organization to play for.
When you say you always loved the Yankees, and you watched Winfield, was that when you think the seed was planted, or did you at that age? What are you at that age?
I mean, I was 4 or 5
So you're not
years
thinking,
old.
I'm going to be a baseball player, are you?
As long as I could remember, that's the only thing I wanted to do.
There's a great deal of structure and preparation and confidence that you have. At that stage, you're beginning this baseball career as a professional. Did you always believe that you would end up at the major league level?
No. I always, in the back of my mind, I did. When I first signed, I was drafted when I was 17. I signed, left the day after my 18th birthday, and never really been away from home with the exception of family trips to my grandparents' house, and had never really struggled when it comes to playing baseball. I went to rookie ball and I struggled, and it was rough. And everyone has a roommate. I didn't have a roommate at the beginning because I signed late. I'm by myself, struggling for the first time, calling home crying, saying I should have gone to school. Can I give the money back, start all over? But my parents were there, and it's really sad to say it because I was there for 2 weeks. My parents came down. 2 weeks later, they came down again, and 2 weeks after that, the season was over. Right. So I really wasn't gone for a long time. But it's dealing with struggle and dealing with failure for the first time. Yeah. I mean, you have a lot of confidence, and you've always had success, and now you're struggling. So it was difficult to deal with.
You remember the first game wearing pinstripes?
The first game I went to, I didn't play, because I sort of got there late, and I went there and just watched. And first game I played was a doubleheader. I was 0 for 8, I think, with 7 strikeouts. I had a few errors and felt like crying between games. If I could have gone into a bathroom, but this is rookie ball, there's no really privacy there. You're out in the open. If I could have, I would have broke down.
At what point do you think you understood the significance of a single digit, given what Yankee Stadium and the monuments and the plaques?
I was well versed on the Yankee history, but I never thought about it when I got to number 2. My dad wore number 13 in college, and I always tried to get 13 as much as I could. Jim Leyritz had it when I came up, and the following spring training, they actually changed my number to 17, and because they thought I just didn't want number 2. And I went back and said, I do want number 2. So I think we could go back to the program in 1997 spring training. I was listed at number 17.
Really?
Yeah.
So you had 2, they put 17.
I got 2 back.
Did you always think that the Yankees fans were the best in the world? Were there days where you're like, can't, back off?
They're tough. They're tough, but I think, it eliminates complacency. I think that's important. You don't ever want to think you have it made. When I was playing in New York, every day I took the field, I thought I was playing to keep my job. It was a different time.
You felt that way?
No question. I mean, the boss would get rid of you.
Right.
He would get rid of you and get some big name free agents. So we all felt as though we were playing for jobs.
How do you summarize your relationship with George Steinbrenner?
We had a great relationship. I think it started with the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. Yeah. He was a big Ohio State guy, he was big Michigan. We used to bet on the football game every year. But, the thing with the boss is, in my opinion, he's the greatest owner of history of sports. I'm a little biased, but what he was able to do with this organization and how he's been able to make it grow. And we had the same mindset when it came to winning. If you do not win a championship, then the season is a failure. And I've always felt that way. And, he had a lot of respect, he commanded respect. But if you don't make excuses, you play the game the right way, you play it hard, then he would have respect for you, and therefore we had a great relationship.
Is there a Derek Jeter in your mind, sort of a seminal moment for you that would define your career? And maybe it's one we don't even talk about.
I don't know. There's been so many great memories I've had along the way, and I've been a part of a lot of special moments, and we've won 5 times. One of the moments, I don't know if it's fair to say, but it's freshest in my mind, was the last game I played at Yankee Stadium, which ironically is the only game in my career where we were mathematically eliminated. So it's the only meaningless game I ever played in Yankee Stadium.
How hard is that to believe?
Yeah, and the way the fans reacted and responded, and it was like a playoff atmosphere, and I think it just shows the special bond that I was able to have here with the city of New York and the baseball fans.
What does it mean to have the number retired with the Ruths and the Gehrigs?
It's surreal to think about. I don't know. I'm trying not to think about it. I just want to get there and sort of soak it all in and see how I feel. I don't want to go in there with any preconceived notions of what may happen. I just want to enjoy it. But you have a dream to play professional baseball. You have a dream to play shortstop. You have a dream to play shortstop for the Yankees. To have your number retired is never a part of that dream.